Have you ever thought about scrying with a black mirror? Well, I know a lot of people are frightened and put off by it for some unknown reason. So I thought I'd do a video today all about the black mirror scrying. So if you're interested, guys, keep on watching. This week I'm covering the subject about how to scry with a black mirror. Now guys, there are two types you can get. Obsidian stone, which is beautiful, but again it is glass, and the mirror which we use every day, so it's glass. Both reflect an image and both are like portals, so can be used. Now there is this thing about, oh, you don't want to be doing that because it might be dangerous. Well, any tool that we use in magic or anything to do with psychic phenomena, all these things open up pathways and portals and entrances into us and our world around us. So obviously we have to make sure that we are safe before we do anything. Obsidian costs a lot more money than a black mirror. Now, the way you get a black mirror is to either paint the back of a pane of glass, or you can buy them ready done, which is easier. The only difference there would be if you're making your own, you can use the paint and you can put your spells on it, or your incantations or your protections and things like that as you're painting it on. And using just black paint, or I know somebody that used black nail polish. Anything that covers that glass and gives a black blank view. That's all you need, because what's coming from it is message, and message comes through your mind, through your very being. And so as such, really, it doesn't matter. Obviously obsidian is beautiful and it's really shiny and bright, and you can get a small piece, but only about that big. It's okay, but I like something a bit bigger that I can concentrate on when I'm doing so. The actual mirror itself can be decorated if you're making one, and you can put exactly what you want upon it. There are things you need to do when you get your mirror. Now I have a mirror here which I'm going to show you. You might not see it there, so I'm going to pick it up and show you. There we go. And this is my black mirror, and it is just a glass mirror, guys. To be honest, I'm not going to spend tons of money, which I don't have, on something just to say it's made of obsidian, because at the end of the day you get exactly the same results with a normal mirror. And so depending on how much money you have and whether you want to do the real deal, or as we call it, the unreal deal, which I think is silly, because at the end of the day it's all glass and it all polishes up and it all gives a reflection and is still a portal. Cleanse it, and I mean spiritually cleanse it. Make sure you're spiritually cleansed when you are touching it. In other words, have a spiritual bath in salt water, make your mind in a meditative state, cleanse and open your chakras, get yourself prepared, make sure you're not going to be disturbed. Also, I find it's good if you don't eat anything before you do your session, because if the body's empty of food, it doesn't give your stomach things that it's got to work on. And that is the only reason why we fast, guys. It's not because we're putting substance in us, it's the fact that our body is working overtime to get rid of that product that you've put within it. So if you're fasting before you do spiritual work, it means that your body can then put all its efforts into what you are trying to gain or do, if that makes sense to you. So when you're doing the black mirror, you want to be in a very spiritual mind. You want to be into the zone, because that is half the battle. You need to be in the right state of mind before doing anything spiritual. And as a witch, we have our own ways of doing things. If you're a psychic, you'll have your ways of doing things. And you can do things like put symbols on the mirror. You can open up the back and put in a message, you know, or a spell, or an incantation, or just a protection mark, or a rune, anything that comes to your mind when you first get your mirror. And this is a new one, and I haven't actually done anything to it as of yet. I thought that would be a good idea, so that in the video I can show you what I'm going to do. So I like to cleanse mine with incense, and I use a smudge stick for that. So I'm going to put the mirror on my altar, and in a minute I will show you a close-up of what I'm going to do. Just a note, guys, I thought I would also explain that when you darken the room and you have the candlelight, it's because the eyes cannot see the full picture, and so the mind itself creates its own picture to fill in. A little bit like that phrase that people have wrote in all different letters that don't make any sense, but when you look and read them, you see the word that it's meant to be. And so it's a similar sort of thing, because you see, it's not the rational mind that perceives it, it's actually the irrational mind perceives all of this. So the conscious mind itself dies, and the weird, wonderful aspect opens up and lives. And so you're pushing the conscious side to one side and bringing in the weird, bringing in the mind that will accept anything. You could see some disturbing pictures, because it depends on what your mind is perceiving. So be aware that you might get pictures that are a little bit scary, but it's something to do with what's going on in your mind actually creating that picture. So don't get scared when you see something that just say, I'm not having any of that, and you just look again. Another thing which might be funny, which I thought was worth letting you know, is if you look and see your own face, it might change and it might take on the face of somebody else, and it might actually speak to you, and you will see its lips moving. It won't come out of the mirror, but you will hear the voice in your head if you're clairaudient, and you will see the lips moving in sync to it, which can be quite scary the first time you see, but quite interesting to say the least. Sometimes you get imposter spirits, and so all you do is be firm with them and tell them to go away. They'll let themselves be known. You'll know that it's an imposter or someone that's come here to cause you a little bit of anguish. You just tell them to go away, and they will. So at the end of the day, guys, it's nothing to be scared of. It's all you in control of the situation. Now, when you have your mirror set up, you also need a couple of candles each side of it. And I always have black candles, because I think also it puts you in the feeling of getting into the spiritual, getting into what you're going to message-wise get, or how you're going to perceive things. It sort of sets the drama as such. And let's face it, most of the things that we do is always set by ritual or something that pushes your consciousness up a level and gets you into that frame of mind that you need to be in, and it quietens you down as well. It also gets you to contact things involving your spirit helpers, deity, or even just bringing in the quarters, you know, bringing in the four winds, or bringing in the elements of earth, air, fire and water. A psychic or someone like that would probably not do things like that. They would probably say a prayer or two, ask their guides and helpers to come be with them. But as I say, with us, we like to protect and ground. We like to be safe. So firstly, you could cast a circle, which you don't have to do a big effort one. You can do it as simple as this. And what I would do is I would just get into the zone, and then I will cast a circle around me, which is all you need, guys. So you would say, I cast this circle in love and light, bringing it round to make and keep me safe and bright. I cast this circle, thrice it be, to keep me safe and keep me free. I cast this circle, it's all my doing, and now we're safe and ready for all that is doing. And that is it, guys. That's all you need to do. If you want to then call in your quarters, you can, but honestly, once you have your circle, you are within a bubble. You need to think, when you're doing that, it's like, I like to think of an egg. You're standing in the middle of an egg. The shell is hard, the inside is soft. No one can get in and hurt you. Okay? Very easy to memorize or think about when you are putting your finger around and saying those words. You don't even have to say words, guys. All you need to do is that, and imagine that white light coming around you, and you are in the middle of an egg, and you are safe. You are protected. Now, before we do the scrying, obviously we will open up our chakras, but we are now in our safe spot, so we can do what we want now. The mirror is there, you've got your candles, I've got some incense in a box which will come up behind it, and I have dragon's blood in that because it's a protective one again. What you're doing, it's not that I'm saying it's dangerous, but in all works of magic we need to be protected, we need to be safe, and it's no good doing something and then getting something happen. So safety is one of the first things that you will learn in witchcraft, to be safe, to be protected and grounded. That's it. Now I'm going to use the dragon's blood, guys, and I want to make sure that the mirror gets what it needs. Now you can hold the mirror when you're doing this, or you can leave it where it is. I'm going to hold it because I want to do an invoking pentacle. So on the front you've got the opening, and on the back you've got the banishing. So it's from the top to the bottom, like that. But on the back you do it from the bottom up, which is the total opposite. Now you've done that, you can draw a circle around it. Okay, and then you can just waffle it all around, and this will cleanse the mirror, gets in every corner of it, and you can say something over it while you're doing it, like, I cleanse this mirror with love and light, I cleanse it with my dragon's blood bright, I keep this only for me to see, and for those that work internally, I keep this mirror safe and covered, because that's another thing, guys. When you're not using it, it's not, I know it's beautiful to keep up, but it's a good idea to cover it. Either cover it in something or cover it where it's standing, because it is a portal and you don't want things just jumping in and out when they want. Also show you how you can shut it at the end, but this is just for the cleansing purpose. If you have any moon water, you could use that as well to anoint it. Now you can draw runes in the air upon it, like I did with the pentacle. So I would draw, without getting marks all over it, I would draw, let's see, I have to think about that one, but if you want that, you can't go wrong with Odin, so you could do his rune, Arnzus. Arnzus is information coming down, information coming down. Okay, and I would leave it at that. Now this is cleansed, you have to believe that you've cleansed it. Okay, great. Now I can put that back over here. Now I always use the black candles because it sets the scene, but not only that, I like black candles in ritual. It's just something I really enjoy using. Just going to light some incense. That's the other one I've got, because there's two in this one. Oh, that went out like somebody puffed it out. That, I think, is them letting us know that they're ready and willing to be part of this, which is good. It's excitement on their part as much as us, which is nice. What you get from this is an opening to be able to commune with the spirit world, or whoever it is. Sometimes you might even get something that is not of this world, and I mean could be creatures from other planets, other galaxies. Depends how far your energy reaches out and whether they see the door they come through, because this, my friends, is a doorway, and it is like a bright doorway that people can see, or spirit can see. So when you sit, the main thing is to be in the right state mentally, as I said to you, maybe opening your chakras up and protecting yourself. And once you've done that, you then sit in a minute. I'm going to close the curtains to get the room a little bit darker. In fact, I'm going to do that. So once you get yourself in the right state of mind, and as I said, it could be through your chakras opening. I could do mine very quickly, but if you need to take time to do it, then do so. But I will start with, as a reminder, you go to the top and you invite the white energy to come down into you, changing as it comes through your body into the different colours, opening up and just being relaxed and comfortable. And then as it comes down your legs, it grounds into the earth, and so you are fixed and protected and open for any spiritual communication. So now we can see I have the black mirror here and the two candles, and it's got the incense at the back that is completely covering the mirror from the back side of it. You can put another light at the front, which can sometimes help, like that. But what you're trying to do is not see your image, guys. You want to see it as a black, in-depth, never-ending spot that you're just looking at. And so when you start to take some deep breaths in and then relax. And as you sit there and look at the mirror, you need to soften your gaze. Let your eyes relax, and as they relax, they will start to merge into the mirror. That's the feeling you want to get. Your mind is telling you, I'm going in there, I want to be in there. And that's what you want to do with the black mirror. You relax into yourself. You think of nothing other than what you're doing, and you just sit. Now, the first time you do it, guys, you might not get anything, and it will take time, because you'll probably put your own barriers up to start with. But those that are good at doing this sort of thing, you will probably get something straight away, and that could be anything. It could be your face changing, or it could be smoky atmosphere appearing in the mirror, and that could come in different colours. You could see purple. You normally see dark colours, so it would be dark purple or dark red, anything like that, and it will come wafting across and fill the mirror. Now when you get that, that's a good sign, because it means something is trying to come through. So don't get frightened at that moment because you've seen something. You just carry on going, and you just take some deep breaths, and you just keep your mind off of anything. Don't think anything, just stare at that mirror with a softened look to your eyes. You know, like sometimes when you daydream and your eyes sort of go off focus. Try to get into that state. And as you look into the mirror, start to not look for things, but let things come to you. Now, when I look into the mirror at the moment, I see I see a mist, but it is a very pale colour, and it's in the distance. Now I could give a reading to you all from this, but I need to sit for a second and just take in. Right. Now a form has come. I have a woman holding a candle looking back at us. Now that is a spirit of light who's come through to shine the light on all of you out there, to shine a light on the things, the endeavours that you are trying to take up and learn. And she shows me, what's this she showed me? A lantern. Now the lantern, to my mind, is the journey as we walk forwards, the journey of life, the journey of our adventures. Those that are stuck in the mud, I'm seeing the mud. In other words, if you are stuck at the moment or on a plateau, don't be scared or worried that it's not going to progress. Take time out, have a breather, and then go back to it. Okay. Now scrying, guys, is as simple as that. It doesn't always appear actually in the mirror. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Sometimes you get it in your head, so you start to see something in the mirror, but that then goes into your mind, and then the messages come through. So partly you start to see something in the mirror, but partly it comes into your mind. Now it works differently for different people. Some people see lots of stuff actually in the mirror and then have to go away and work out what they've seen. With me, because I'm a medium as well, I get it in my mind at the same time. Now with you, it might be you see the same way, or you see just in the mirror. Now some people get on better with an obsidian sphere, so a crystal ball, that they can see into that more easier. But to my mind, I prefer a flattened surface, because you can see the corners, you can see all around. Whereas on the sphere or the crystal ball, it can be around the corner that you can't see. I like to know what I'm looking at. Looking back at the mirror, it's very smoky. There's definitely a spiritual energy within that mirror. And that's a good sign if you get that, guys. You don't want it just to be a blank black screen. You want to be seeing something. And you can use things as well when you're doing this to help you. So say, like for example, when I saw the lady who isn't there now, she was holding a candle up like she was trying to see us. So I would get my tarots or my runes out, and I would pick a stone and see what it brought up, and you'll get messages that way. So if you wanted to find out, get a tarot card pack and flick it, and then pick a card out and then try to read that card against what you're seeing. That will help you also to, you know, use every tool at your hand, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. You're trying to get a connection between you and the spirit world. Now another thing you can do, which will help you in your journey, is if you want to get a better connection with your deities. Now I would sit here for quite a while if I was going to do that, guys. I would take away this candle, definitely take away that one, and I would personally sit there for up to an hour just gazing into the mirror, because when deity come, they do come, and it takes a while, but once they come, they will give you lots of messages, and you'll get to know more from them through the mirror. If this is something you want to do, it will take a lot of your time, but once the connection's been made and they know that they can come through this portal, they will. This colour black is nothing to be frightened of. A lot of people seem to be afeared of black candles, black mirrors, anything with black in it, because, you know, it is out there that black is evil, black is the demonic colour that's used in black magic. Black is a wonderful colour, it's neutral, like white is neutral. You have daylight and you have nighttime, black and white. So make use of it, guys. Don't always be, you know, thinking the worst of it. But if you don't like black candles, you can use white candles. You don't even have to have candles there. It depends on if you're doing it in the daytime or at night. Now, some people don't like doing it in the dark. They prefer to do it in a daytime. Another substance that you can use is for cleansing the mirror is mugwort. So you could wet some mugwort and then wipe it over, and that will cover your mirror and keep you safe. You can also seal it with earth, air, fire and water symbols upon it, so you could draw them on. I mean, I'm thinking I might add some symbols onto this eventually. You could also, as I did with opening the pentacle, you can use a signal to open up and a signal to close. So you could do something as simple as I wipe it open and I wipe it closed, yeah. It's just sort of ritualising it so that you know you've opened it, you know you've shut it. Nothing really huge. You don't have to do great big things around it, you know, ritualistically. It's all about how you feel inside. Scrying is an individual, personal thing, and you will have to obviously use the tips that are given to start you off, but once started you can make your own way. It's like anything. Once you learn, you change it to suit yourself. Also, you can hang some iron upon it, like a little iron necklace, because iron is a natural magnet to draw away anything negative. So that's a very good thing to use to stop anything coming through it once you've finished what you're doing. So that's another good thing that you can do, guys. So really there's nothing that's going to stop you from using these things as long as you use them in the right way, protected yourself and only used it for what you need to use it for. Now it might be somebody needs an answer to something, and so you will get scryers that read for people for money, and they will do it probably with a pack of tarot cards as well and crystals and things like that. So the scrying mirror can be used for more than just spirit contact. It just is a good way for communication, just like the Ouija board, just like anything really. I mean, you don't even have to buy a scrying mirror to scry. You can get some black ink and a bowl with some water, put the ink in, and it will make a pattern as it goes into it. Then it will turn completely black, and you can then put a light by it and look into it that way. So there are ways that you can do it. It's just that's a bit of a messy way of doing it. You can use so many things for scrying. Your crystal on a chain, you know, your pendulum, you could use that with the scrying mirror. So experiment, try all the different things available to you, because at the end of the day that's what it's all about, making room for your own personality and getting closer to your spiritual helpers and your deities, and you should be okay and happy with it. It's just using it in the right way and making sure that you are open and that you are comfortable. If anything of this frightens you, then don't do it. There's no necessity, you don't have to. But if you want to try it, give it a go, guys. It's not going to hurt you in the long run. And so that is the scrying mirror, guys. There's not a lot more I can tell you about it. Just it's personal. And then I just say hail and farewell to all the spirit that have come through this day to aid us in what we wanted. I wish you well and send you on your way. I will do a banishing pentacle, and then I will say hail and farewell, and then I go like that, and I will blow that little candle out. We have finished. I clean it with salt water, or you can clean it with whatever you want, guys, and just keep it covered like so. And that is it. Just keep it in your cloth. and then store it away somewhere safe till the next time. And that is the scrying mirror. I hope this has been help for some of you out there. It's been a bit of a story today. I've had some interruptions from the spirit world. I think sometimes they like to have a bit of a joke with me, not let me light matches and things like that, and you just take it with a pinch of salt. It's their way of lightening the mood and making things a bit more fun. So if you're going to try it, good luck, and if you get anything and you're interested in letting me know, put it in the comments below. I'll be really interested in what you get. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you to my new subscribers, really do appreciate it. Thank you. I hope you get from the channel what it is you're searching for, and to those that are always here for me, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Without you guys, it wouldn't be worth it. So wherever you are, whatever time of day, night or evening it may be, I wish you the best ever. House of Buckley.